especially if I'm working with somebody that I'm close to, friends with, or anything like that. Is business.
Right.
It's business. I am not your friend on that set. I am your boss. And I am very serious about my craft. I don't think people look at me as competition anymore. I think people either look at me as far as I want to work with her.
Yeah.
Or she's a threat.
Yeah.
I'm honest. I've came across some people that I truly felt like that they looked at me as a threat. Whatever you heard about me, come talk to me first.
Yeah.
Get to know who I am. That funny person that you see me in those skits, that is me, 100%. All of that. Don't ever let nobody tell you or talk you down about anything that you want to do in life. If you want to be the hoe, be the best hoe. You know?
Right.
Be the best at whatever you are. You know what's so crazy? I want to show you something. Please do not think I'm weird because of that. Let me show you something.
What up? I'm YoungBlaze. I'm a rapper, producer, and director, photographer, just all the way around creator. So what about you? You actor, filmmaker, musician, someone who's creating or part of something amazing? Well, come meet people like you, where we take Chicago, Hollywood, and we meet up in the middle, and we get successful. So if somebody tell you switched up, acting different, acting brand new, nah. Just tell them I'm just acting Chicallywood.
Ladies and gentlemen, what up? It's your boy YoungBlaze, and you're tuned into Acting Chicallywood. And today I'm hanging out with
Felice Tamara J.
Yeah. What is up, man? It is so good to meet you.
It's good to meet you as well.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about you.
Well, I am a woman of many hats. So I am a writer, director, published author, playwright. I'm a special effects makeup artist. I'm a content creator. I do stand-up comedy as well as, like I say, a filmmaker.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you my first introduction to you.
Yeah.
I was randomly minding my business. I was on Facebook and I saw like some funny skits, and I saw one skit. It had like so many hits, and I saw you in it. And I was like, yo, this joint is super duper funny. And then as I went down this rabbit hole, I started seeing like, man, she kind of got like this like low key, like a living color kind of like she's doing these dope comedy joints. So I guess my question is like, man, when did you realize you was funny?
When I was young, as a kid. Like, growing up as a kid, I was always told by, like, my cousins, my mom, my aunt, my uncles, my grandmother, that I was always an entertainer. And, like, with my cousins, they always thought I was funny.
So, were you a big fan of watching, like, In Living Color and all these little cool...
Yes. Yeah. With In Living Color, my favorite actor on Living Color is Jim Carrey.
Okay.
So Fire Marshal Bill, when he did, I think it's She-Ra, I hope I'm saying her name right. He had that little bathing suit on, and he was like a bodybuilder or whatever. Okay. Of course, all the Wayans, you know, they were pretty much dope. I enjoyed Mad TV. I watched Saturday Night Live. So, you know, everybody pretty much should know about those shows.
Facts. Yeah. Was it a movie in particular or that had you inspired too? Is there any movies?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say a movie. I would say it started with Carol Burnett.
Ooh.
Growing up as a kid.
Okay.
Watching the Carol Burnett Show.
Yeah.
And I was totally mesmerized by her. I actually would go in my bedroom. I had my little tea table, and I would take all my dolls and my stuffed animals, and I would sit them around in my room, and I would perform like I had my own audience.
That is dope.
Yeah.
That is super dope.
Yeah.
So it's almost like your journey is, because you're basically really breaking the rules because you're like approaching social media in a unique way. Because I mean, it's, you know, the typical way, like most people, they kind of like stray away from doing social media stuff. But how important is that, do you feel, is like part of your whole brand?
Well, I really wasn't into the social media thing like that. I think the breakthrough when COVID hit is what really got me more interested in doing social media. I was pretty much into acting, like really heavy into my acting prior to that. But social media is a big platform to like promote your talents, and it has really become a part of my life.
Nice.
Yeah.
So let me take it back a little bit. So you're doing, you know, you're watching the Carol Burnett Show and stuff like that. So did you eventually say, you know what, gonna get into some school plays and things like that. So was that like something that you was like, let me go ahead and try to take this direction, or?
Absolutely not. Everything was totally different. I really wanted to get into acting, but instead of me taking the first step to act, I started modeling first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wanted to be Naomi Campbell. I wanted to be a model at first.
Yeah.
So that was something that was very challenging. Growing up as an African American woman, not as slim, not tall enough. So, I wanted to be a runway, a fashion model, and I didn't have the physique for that or whatever. So I took it upon myself to start writing after that. So I wrote my first play when I was in the 7th grade.
Wow.
I wrote a Christmas play, and I'll never forget my teacher. Her name was Miss Reed, and she allowed the class to perform the play, and I directed it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is that that's when the bug kind of like struck, when you say, yo?
Yeah.
Okay.
It really struck then. That's when I knew, when I was young, that I really wanted to act. So, but still being in school, I really didn't take the time to get into acting classes. Everything that I did for myself, I'm not going to lie, is self-taught. Yeah, until I attended Columbia College.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What made you want to say, okay, let me go ahead and get into school? Or
not only that I wanted to get more experience, I wanted to actually get a degree behind that. So, but acting was not my main, it wasn't the main subject. I took up filming, film, video directing, and my minor was dance choreography. So I took acting classes, but I didn't take it as an acting major.
How did you like that, though? Did you like it? Because some people feel like, well, I just want to naturally figure this out. But did you like the fact that going to class, getting...
Yeah, well, going to Columbia College was very, very important, and it was so fun. I met a lot of different people, from different backgrounds, different cultures.
Yeah.
The professors were amazing. I learned a lot, but it wasn't necessary, because I had to take math, history, English, all the prerequisites that had nothing to do with me acting or filming or anything.
Yeah.
That was the only thing that I didn't like about going to school.
That's funny, because fun fact, I went to Columbia, but I got kicked out.
Yeah.
Because everybody was telling me, because I'm self-taught, but everybody kept telling me, like, for music, I need to go to get a degree, whatever the case may be. And they was like, that's how you make it in this business. So I said, all right, I had a family member invest some money and say, okay, cool, I'm going to help you go to Columbia. The problem that I had was that I kept getting into it with the teacher, because I'm self-taught, I would see things that wasn't making sense. Where it was one of the teachers I remember they kept telling the students, like, the only way you can make this happen or do this particular type of sound or produce this is that you need to use these particular type of programs. And I'm like, that's not true.
That's not right.
Like, you don't need to use that to be... Basically what he was saying, if you don't use this software, that you can't make it. And then that's when I realized is that the school had a contract with the people that made that particular software to sell it. And so I would question every aspect of it. That led to, like, when we went on break, they was like, yeah, well, they don't want you back, and all this other stuff like that. So I ended up going to another school, and it was
because of that.
I mean, we stayed into it. It was
Okay.
That wasn't the only thing, but I've always been the type of dude, like, I question everything. So it's like, if the glass is half full, some people say, is the glass half empty? I'm saying, why are we using the glass in the first place?
Exactly.
So yeah, man. So on your journey, man, being in Chicago, are you naturally born and raised in Chicago?
Born and raised all my life.
Yeah. So how do you see how is the culture in Chicago for you, basically honing your craft?
I would say that it's pretty good, but I feel that if I move somewhere else, I feel that I can expand. Maybe because I feel like I've been here all my life. I haven't been anywhere else. So all I know is about my hometown, and Chicago is dope. It's a lot of opportunities here. It's a lot of work here, but I'm gonna keep it real. I feel that
I'm just acting Chicallywood.